Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tactics Ogre Reborn on the Nintendo Switch. A bit of a preview video and what I've experienced this far. I do want to say a massive thank you to Square Enix. They gave me access to the entire first chapter. For me, that's been right around 10 hours of gameplay, so I'll be covering what I've seen this far and then the noted changes in this release compared to the original. So with that, like, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily. And let's get started. If you are thinking about grabbing this or anything else from the eShop, then consider using cornershop.gg for instant delivery email eShop credit. You will get 10% off at checkout using code CORNER. Story this far then, the first few hours, we are following a character named Denam with a large cast in tow as well, as some seem to rotate, others they are permanent. Think everything from mages to knights to family and friends. The narrative, I'm still kind of getting to grips with it, but the overarching theme here, this world is at war, or at least the risk of war, and we're out to save and free our people. We're essentially seeking peace. After just a few battles, however, we've recruited a team of knights for hire, we've saved a duke, and now we've become the heroes. It's basically starting to throw in elements of political intrigue, the threat of a larger scale war, and then decision making which can alter how your story goes thanks to the game packing multiple endings. My one bit of advice with story though, if like me you're new, sit on the main menu for a couple of minutes. If you do that, a cutscene will play which is incredibly useful. It adds a ton of context to where this world is and what has come before, basically throwing you into this scenario. Not really sure why it's almost hidden here, but I found it by mistake when I booted up the game and I had to walk away for a short while. Tactics Ogre Reborn, gameplay wise I'm having a blast. I should preface all of this with I never did play the original release. It's always been on my list of games to play, so this is just a great release to see. In these 10 hours I've just met countless characters, watched plenty of cutscenes, created my character, or at least stats wise, and then also explored this world and gone to war. Honestly, the game just immediately surprised me with what I would call its character creation. Here you're actually putting your date of birth before heading into a series of questions based around tarot cards. These answers we give, they actually determine Denam's initial stats. This is then followed with a blessing, so choose a god and they will bless you with an element. My choice personally was the goddess of lightning. From here then it's immediately into gameplay, and for those that don't already know this, it's a strategy RPG, meaning we have turn-based battles, a huge amount of stats, and then a world map that is mostly choosing a location and watching our character move to that position. There's really no sense of exploration, I guess, though there is plenty of story along the way. The battles though are what many will be coming for, and I've got to admit it's been a while since I've played a genre entry. I'm definitely rusty and it definitely gets challenging. It may be worth training for a few battles to not only get to grips with a huge amount of mechanics, but basically get ahead of leveling your team. That seems to really help. The combat though, a grid-based system, and this far I've been allowed to work as a team of 8, each character then packing their own class and set of skills. Think mages or maybe ranged. Each of these battles then as well, it's assigning experience points that will be essential. Along the way though, leveling introduces new skills to our repertoire. We'll also find a huge amount of pickups and items on the battlefield as well. The mission types then, so to speak, the first few hours it's mainly been defeating a leader on the battlefield, but I did see a few spins on this, such as a scenario when I had to defend someone from a dragon, which was particularly fun. This has all of them been accompanied by squad management and store visits. This could be to get items, think health, magic items, such as recovering a fallen team member, armor, weapons, and the list just goes on and on. You can of course sell goods as well. This is all going to be particularly important though as you start to get an idea of your team members' strengths and weaknesses. How can you either, I guess, reinforce their strengths, or how can you maybe counter what problems they do have? This will be particularly true when it comes to setting your formation as well before each battle. You need to really understand how you've shaped that character. Also then do be aware on that note, many of these characters can, and no doubt they will fall in battle. If that should happen, they will die permanently. The AI for the enemies though, it's been really good. They've packed some nice features as well in here for, I guess, quality of life almost, but you can speed up the battles. I did opt to do that. You can have it in place so battles or individual characters are going to be controlled automatically. If you level enough as well, you should have no issues in these moments. No doubt towards the end game, those automatic battles probably won't go in your favor, but I actually found it as just a great training tool. Sometimes I would watch the action, see what was going on. You can also rewind battles should something go wrong, think almost like a safety net. Now I will of course have a full review coming up here on the channel closer to launch, but I just at least wanted to give this overview. I can't give a definitive answer on the game at this point, but I will say for me, it is shaping up this far at least to be a must-buy game. That said though, let's get into some of the notable changes. So first off, visually I would agree, you compare it to the original and you would think it's a straight up port. I know many out there have questioned the $50 price tag, but when you actually get into the details, you can see the huge amount of work that has been done here. It's such a classic game as well. I feel changing the visual style, definitely risky and often hit and miss. Instead, they've just gone for that simple overhaul. Now, there's probably more going on here than you expect, though. The menus have been adjusted in their layouts quite frequently. UI has been changed, they've optimized the game for the resolution, and they've of course done work on the pixel art. That said, it looks great basically. It's incredibly clean, and it makes it a perfect game to play in handheld. One major enhancement though from the presentation perspective, that is the audio. The soundtrack is stunning, which it seems they've used some of the original while adding in additional and reworked music as well. At least that's what the research is telling me. The big audio change, however, it's the inclusion of voice acting for every cutscene. This far, it has been fully done and to an extremely high quality. I love the inclusion because it just brings the characters now to life. It adds that additional element of immersion for me, the player. It honestly helps as well with how good the writing has been. Where the real changes have happened though, that is in the gameplay. I'm just going to note a few here, but you can find all of the rest over on the Square Enix website and blog. But think everything from quality of life to in battle. Think new skills that will be acquired through leveling or new finishing moves. We've got a new type of item entirely in charms which allow us to impact how our unit's stats proceed. We can save party setups, so no more rebuilding our positioning before battle. We can even scout the battlefield to see what faces us once we do jump in. Going even further, buff cards strategically fall on the battlefield blue and they will temporarily improve or hurt a character. We have objectives to complete for bonus experience, adding a new dash of challenge. Think win a battle with a mage alive. Then of course there's a slew of improvements for friendly and enemy AI. Again, that is just a small sample as well, so please do take a look at the website. But one really unique change, and I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts on it, they removed random battles. I just want to know, were they particularly annoying? I never played the original release. It seems they occurred when moving on the world map. Now instead, to level up, we actually go to a home base and we can simply choose a training option that will allow you to grind immediately. I spent a good while here myself trying to get ahead of the initial difficulty curve. So again, look, this is just the start. Balancing changes, UI improvements, stores reworked, the list, it goes on and on. For me though, being new to the series, it's hard to say, is it the definitive edition this far? But I really hope it works out that way for all of the fans out there. The changes, they feel confident and right within the confines of this world. I already knew the game was a classic. That's always going to be a risky thing to start, messing around with. Again though as well, I can't give an opinion on the full game, but I can on chapter 1, and where it's left me at this point is easy. I cannot wait now to jump in and play more. Again, a huge thank you to Square Enix for giving me the chance to get hands-on with this new Switch release, and come that release date, I will have a full review live on the channel. I will, however, also have some more coverage here on the channel just before then, centered right around this very game. With that then, like, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.